Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Wrestling Mark YouTube channel. I'm Giovanni as always, and finally, we are back together, me and
Yes.
Alvin, in one single
Yes,
video. It's
together
been
and
like
feels so good.
500 years. Reunited, and it feels so good. Um, it's been like, what, 2 weeks that we haven't really done
Pretty
a
much.
video together, which
Like
is pretty
there was
long, I
always
guess.
something like interfering, but
Yeah,
we're reunited and feel so good.
it feels very good. Today we're talking about, oh god. Today we're talking about NXT of June 26th, 2014. When was the last time we did an NXT review? Like 2 weeks
Prob-
ago?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
Two
Yeah.
weeks ago, I think. So the last time we we did a video together. Um, so we started off with action immediately. The Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch versus, what were their names? I don't know their names. I didn't know their names. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I know this was a match for the Vaudevillains, I would say, because it was pretty straightforward and they're gonna win. The Vaudevillains did win, just like last week, with the Rolling Fireman carry slam thing, kind of, sort of thing. And second rope senton by Aiden English, picking up the win. Second week in a row, Vaudevillains 2-0. I could actually see when the Ascensions get called up to the main roster, I could see these guys getting the championships, the tag team
Yeah,
championships.
but um, the only thing like I'm kind of confused about are they like face or because I actually didn't catch NXT last week. Like I barely watched like a couple videos, so like I don't even know if they're like face or not, but it seems like it.
They
They,
haven't really said anything to really determine that, because I know Aiden
like
English was a heel.
I don't think their theme is very heelish, and their
Uh,
filter and
they're
I
called the Vaudevillains.
d- yeah,
Villains, I mean...
forget it.
Alright, I'll forget it. So then we go into pretty much a replay of last week, with Tyson Kidd leaving his partner Sami Zayn to be destroyed by the Ascension.
Which is
And
probably gonna be addressed next week
yeah, probably Tyson
because
will say something, or they'll have a match, or
that's like what usually they do. Like
yeah,
they bring up one feud and then like they skip a week and then go to the next week.
yeah.
So
They're like alternate feuds. So Sammy basically was just like,
pissed off.
uh, I always said you have to learn to lose before you win, but I'm tired of losing,
he
and all
says
that stuff.
he says you have to learn to lose before you can win, and like he said he never liked losing, especially to because of his partner. So
Yeah,
look, he looked pissed off as
all
hell.
his partner's
Tyson
fault.
Kidd. Yeah. So we go to the next match, and Xavier Woods actually comes out to his like own music theme. I think he's like come out with it before, but like to me this is like the first time I've ever seen him come out to not Brodus Clay's theme, or I mean not Brodus Clay, the Funkadactyls now. So, but it's of course it's not for Xavier Woods. It's just for the debut of Bull Dempsey. Um, okay, tell me what you think about Bull Dempsey, Gio.
I thought he was a combination of King Kong Bundy and Bradshaw
Brad? Oh, that's a
during the
good one.
APA.
I actually
That was my first impression of him.
I kind of thought like what you said. I kind of thought he looked like Rhino and kind of reminded me of him, but like his style is just like so you know it doesn't it seemed to me it seems like it was kind of more basic to me. Like his gimmick seems cool, and of course, Bull Dempsey has like the squash finisher he's probably going to use now. It's like, isn't it just like a scoop slam?
Yeah, it's just like a
Yeah.
scoop body slam, and
So like, I didn't really like
called
that.
the bulldozer. But the fact
Yeah,
that it's called the bulldozer makes it
yeah,
much more
that
effective.
it sounds pretty cool, I guess. But I wasn't really impressed, but then he got on the microphone after he beat Xavier Woods, and I thought he was pretty, pretty good in my book, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he was pretty good.
He was pretty good. I thought he was gonna be like shit, but he was actually good, and I believe it was his first ever match on NXT. But I can't. For me, he's like on the border. Like I don't like him at the same time I do. So for me, it's like, you know, I'll give it more time, but I'll wait for it. Um, so
Yeah.
that's
It was a pretty squash match, pretty straightforward. But the next match is definitely not a squash match. It's Summer Rae with Charlotte and Sasha Banks at her side versus the debuting Becky Lynch. She's from Dublin, and like Alex said, she did start training when she was only 15 years old, which is pretty impressive. I think she's 27, so almost half
so.
of her life she's been wrestling. She started her early career. I did some research on her because I was like, "Who's this girl?" So she started most of her career, her early career. She was in Europe a lot, like Ireland, Germany, France. But she began working in over here in North America in 2005, I believe, in Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling. I don't read too much about that, but she had been working in just other places in the North America from 2005 to 2011, and she actually wrestled in Japan as well. I think in 2005 and 2006, she was there for like a international woman Grand Prix type of goat. So I looked that up before I even watched the match, and I was like, all right, I know something about her. And reading that, I was hoping to be impressed, and I'm not saying I wasn't impressed, but I mean, I guess
I
it
mean,
could have
it
been a
was.
longer match and a better match.
Um, I know what you mean by that, but I think it was just for to see what happened in this match. Like, you would see outside Charlotte and Sasha Banks arguing. So I think it was mostly for like the shift of the breakup for the BFFs between Summer Rae. So I don't think they were mostly focusing on Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch, like, she wasn't bad either. Like you said, um, there's the one spot that I actually kind of liked. Summer Rae was like going for a pin, and then Becky, like, she like got up in a bridge and
Yeah,
like
that
just slid
was
out of it. I thought
impressive.
that was pretty cool.
That was
I thought that
cool.
was pretty cool.
Um,
So I have to see like more of her because she seems pretty interesting. The only thing I don't like, she's she's like tap dancing around the ring,
she's doing
and
an Irish jig.
like I know it's like just because she's Irish doesn't mean she has to freaking come out to an Irish theme and all that. Like I don't understand why she has to come out and literally dance around the whole arena.
But you say has to, like they're forcing her to. You don't know that for sure. I mean, there are wrestlers who have been international who are just proud of their heritage and do that. Eddie Guerrero didn't have to come out and light, cheat, and steal, but that worked for him
Mm,
as his gimmick.
yeah.
Maybe this could work for her. But another thing with the Irish thing, I didn't like when Summer Rae said, "Oh, she's very
I,
close friends with Sheamus and Fit Finlay."
um, it's not Summer Rae. It was Renee Young.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Summer Rae, Renee Young. They both got the R's.
But
Renee
I kind of
Young.
agree. Like I can't like just because she's from Dublin for like she's supposedly related to Finley and
No,
Sheamus.
not. They didn't say related. They
I
said
mean,
they're
not
just
related, but
friends.
just
Like
like
they knew each
friends.
other and they were close together. Hopefully, she just doesn't start beating her chest and say "fella" for every promo though. So,
Okay,
but she
so we
picked up
got
the win with
this.
a suplex of some sort, capture suplex.
Uh, yeah, I knew what it was called, but I forgot what it was called. But
Yeah.
whatever. It was a nice diva finisher, I guess.
It
But
was
it
pretty
was
good.
after Charlotte and Sasha Banks were not, helping Summer Rae, and they were just laughing at Summer Rae. So
Which I would have done the same thing.
that was about it. Who likes Summer Rae anyways? Okay, so we
The
go
ex
to the
Mrs. Fandango.
yes. Okay, we go to the next match. It's Colin Cassidy versus Sawyer Fulton. I don't even know.
Sawyer
Um,
Fulton.
Sawyer, yeah. So, um, but damn, these guys were like both, tall as hell. To be honest, like I was trying to look at Colin's like height, and then like I just looked at both of them, and they were like almost the same height. Like Sawyer is just like a few inches down, but um, Colin Cassidy, of course it was for him to pick up the win, but at the end, he actually. Did you see that big boot that he hit?
My
Like
God,
I
that
thought
freaking boot was.
that looked like. I think that should have been like his finisher. Like when he did the, like I don't understand. I don't really like. Is his elbow drop the finisher? Because I don't really
I don't
care
think that
about.
is his finisher. I think
It,
that's
it's probably the big boot.
no. His finisher is called the East River Crossing, but I can't think of what it is like
I
he
think
does.
I think you should just switch to the like the big boot. To be honest, just like go in the corner and do your like RWAFT or
R
whatever.
A W F T.
I don't know. Like it's just
Roft.
I don't
It's
even know.
F L S A W S
Oh
A
yeah,
W
saw
T.
it. Well, I don't really
No.
care, but
Yeah. I
I
don't even
mean,
understand
if he
that.
wants to be a big guy, I think he should use the big boot because that big boot just looks like fucking kill you like in an instant. But
Killed that guy, whoever he is.
I don't I don't like how they pronounce Colin as a beast. Like when I think of beast, I think of Brock Lesnar or something. Like
Yeah,
just
that's
because,
true.
but like when you look at Colin Cassidy, he looks like a regular guy, but like just super tall.
Yeah.
So
He
I
doesn't
don't
look
really,
super like
you know,
heavily built like
yeah.
Brock or really naturally built big like Big Show or Andre the Giant. He's just this tall, thin guy.
Yeah, so I don't really like when they acknowledge him as a beast, Okay, the main event.
Maybe Paul Heyman should go down to NXT and show them what a beast really looks like. The man behind
If
the
I
the 1 in 21 and 1, you know.
pretty much for
So the main event. Before the main event, we were joined at commentary by Tyler Breeze. I love Tyler Breeze, and he's just so cocky, and it's amazing.
yeah.
And we had Adrian Neville versus RVD as the main event. And this match made me notice. The first thing that came to mind was RVD's a pretty small guy compared to the average wrestler. God damn, Adrian Neville is short as hell.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
he is really short.
I didn't think Adrian was that sure, but then like I looked between the both of them and like RVD was like a bit taller than Adrian and like a little bit like muscular and bigger. And I was like, whoa, like Adrian's like really
Adrian
small.
looked like a little kid compared to RVD.
But not in wrestling, of course.
Yeah,
But
very similar styles. I expected this match to be quicker paced due to that, but it was alright for RVD being as old as he is. I think he's in his mid 40s, I believe.
yeah, so you can't really blame him.
Can't blame him. It was a good match.
That was a good match.
A lot of high spots.
Yeah, I liked how I like Renee Young and Tyler Breeze on commentary. They were just talking about like about like Tyler Breeze's like music career and stuff, and then and then like he says Renee there's this one part that actually made me laugh a lot. Renee said people say you and I look alike, and then he says yeah that could be, but I'm more gorgeous than you, and
He was like,
something like that. But
you should take that as a compliment that people think you're as gorgeous as me, even though it's
even
not
though it's not
true.
true, and I was actually laughing at that.
I believe
And
it's very true. That
what
he
I
said.
liked about Tyler Breeze, he wasn't. I feel like another wrestler would just talk about whatever, but Tyler Breeze was like the whole time like I'm focused on the NXT Championship. Which I
You want to
actually
go on
love.
tour? Are you gonna
Like
make an
yeah,
album? I'm focused on that.
I
What
thought
kind
that
of
was
question is
super
that?
cool. I like how it was super cool. Like he was only focused on NXT Championship. I feel like if there was someone else in his shoes, I feel like they would have talked about all that. But Tyler Breeze was, I'm focused on the NXT Championship, so I
Yeah,
thought that was
another
super.
thing with Tyler Breeze on commentary is that usually when there's a heel on commentary, there's always that commentator who always tries to kiss up to them. In this case, it was Renee Young. Any other heel would have bought into it. Tyler Breeze didn't. He was just like, don't bug me, Renee. She
Just leave
would
me
say something and he
alone.
would be like, is Renee still talking? It was just hilarious with the Tyler and Renee.
Tyler Breeze is just so amazing. Like he's like so into his gimmick and
Yeah.
so great. And
On
yeah,
any other guy, it would probably be a horrible gimmick, but because he's pulling it off so perfectly, it's an amazing thing.
and like I also liked how he was just like he had his phone out and he had his camera on him the whole time throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the
Yeah,
match.
back to the actual match.
It was actually super good in my book, but of course, if I feel like if RVD was like like younger and all that, I feel like it would have been like better. But you can't really blame RVD because he's getting old. But Adrian Neville, this is the part I didn't really like at the end, which kind of didn't completely ruin it for me. But Adrian Neville got a clean win over RVD, which I did not like because um, okay, RVD already lost to Seth Rollins at Raw, or was about to, and if and since I don't see how if you want people to think RVD is gonna win the Money in the Bank briefcase, I don't think it's good to have him lose to an NXT superstar. You know, like it doesn't really like if I don't see RVD winning at all, but I feel like it would be. It just makes him look more weak.
Yeah.
It doesn't make him look strong coming into the Money in the Bank preview. Like I don't. I feel like Adrian Neville could have taken at least one loss over the main superstar, which is RVD, and I don't even understand why Adrian Neville had to win. Like I know that Tally Reese was at ringside, but I feel like RVD could have taken a win at least, or at least like I feel like it would have been a proper way. I think it would have been all right if there was like an interference, but they didn't go with that at all, and they just made Adrian Neville win clean. Wow,
I thought that was pretty good, that victory. I mean, I guess you and I think differently because I didn't even think about Money in the Bank or RVD. I don't see RVD as a threat in the first place for Money in the Bank, so I think uh, Adrian Neville getting a win over him didn't really affect Adrian as much as it will RVD, like you said. But I think if RVD beat Adrian Neville, it would have definitely affected him negatively. So I think allowing him to pick up the win was the smarter move. Because you can't just make your champion lose to a 40-year-old hippie pothead. 420, RVD 420 says, I just smoked your ass. You can't let your NXT champion lose to that. So I think it was a
but
pretty smart
uh,
thing to let him pick up the win.
it's kind of even for me. I kind of agree with you. Half and half, but just for the fact that RVD is going to the ladder match, and he's already lost like 3 times or twice. I mean, I
But
just
you have
don't.
to look at it, whose future is brighter between Adrian and RVD.
Yeah, I
Who
know,
has a
but
more expanded
I
career from
know,
now?
I know,
Yeah,
but
we won't see RVD with the World Championship anytime soon.
I'm just
Any
saying,
championship,
as
probably.
if I mean, if you want a good Money in the Bank ladder match, I feel like it would be good if you made each competitor look strong. But you know,
But there's only
but
one winner in the end.
pretty much.
So Adrian got the win with the Red Arrow, probably the best
What
move in
else?
NXT. And then he got on the turnbuckle, the second turnbuckle, and holding up his title. And Mr. Tyler Breeze stood up, and he stood on the announce table. I don't know why I couldn't think of where he stood, but he stood up on the announce table, and they basically stare down to the end of NXT.
All right. So that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's about it for that show. It was a pretty good show. Uh, what do you rate this show, Alvin?
Probably a 7.5.
7.5. I think I'd give it the same thing. 7.5 to an 8, maybe in between there somewhere. But you have any final thoughts on the show?
No.
Alright, well, I think that wraps up this week's NXT review. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way down this road of this video, what is this? Like 20 minutes long, maybe? Maybe not. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. It shows good support. It helps us know that people actually care to watch us. And also leave a comment whether or not you liked the video or what you thought about the show. That's pretty good. Subscribe to us if you have a Google or YouTube account, I guess. They're both the same thing, but subscribe to us. Again, it shows support and it helps us out a lot. And if you don't have a YouTube, make one. Then, if you don't want to, but you want to keep up with our videos, follow us on Twitter. Twitter.com/XXOMG. XX is mine. Twitter.com/AlvinAlpha is Alvin's, obviously. The links are in the description as well as on the channel. Go to the channel if you don't want to go to the description. Go to the description if you don't want to go to the channel. Do any of that sort of stuff. Thank you for watching once again, Alvin.
Fuck around, pussy.
We'll see you next time.